Okay, in this lecture, I will discuss a little bit more about on the primary production processes in soils, which at the roots and rhizosphere uh, associates. Okay, uh, more details you can read on chapter 2. Not much, only 23 pages. Yeah, okay, you can look at your textbook. You can look at the textbook at chapter 2, page 23 to 46. Okay, roots usually subconsciously neglected by human, the layman particularly. When you see plants, you see how green they are, how green their leaves, how big their trunks, how beautiful the flowers, how sweet the fruits, but not many say, hey, tell me about the roots. Okay, not many. So roots have a lot of functions, as many as the above ground parts, especially in the rhizosphere area. So what is rhizosphere? Okay, the rhizosphere uh, is the narrow region of soil or substrate that is directly influenced by secretions and associated soil microorganisms known as the root microbiome. So basically, these are the rhizosphere. Okay, generally divided into endorhizosphere and then ectorhizosphere. So endorhizosphere is the in the root system itself, in the plant root itself, and the ectorhizosphere is the extension or the root that extended to the uh, in the soil, okay, which is separated usually basically with the rhizoplasm. So root itself normally occupy around 1% of topsoil, but with rhizosphere, it can go up to 10%. So that's how big the rhizosphere is. How the rhizosphere is associated. Okay. So within this 10%, all important activities are happening in the plant. Okay. So as for me in agriculture, the crop system. So the another 90% of soil volume. So the around 10% is with happening in the soil volume, which is in the rhizosphere. So this is when the end of the rhizosphere. So around 10% of the soil volume. Uh, again, this is a endosphere, and then also the uh, rhizosphere. Okay, uh, so what exactly roots do? Okay, in terms of the in our topic in soil ecology, besides the cliche uh, transporting the water, transporting the nutrient for the plants. Root are the primary producers for the soil. Okay, primary production processes constitute the principal biochemical motive force for all subsequent activities in heterotrophs in soils. The input into the soil, okay, come from two directions. The input of the carbon, okay, to the soil from the uh, two directions. First is the from above ground onto the soil surface, which is the leaf litter. So leaf can drop to the soil and provide the carbon to the soil, and as a part of the primary production also, or the source of carbon to the soil. And the second one from the below ground itself as roots, which contribute exudates. Okay, what we call as exudates and exfoliated cells while the roots are alive, and then as root litter when the roots die. So roots are uh, part of the carbon sources for the soil. Again, looking at the root soil system as a whole, what is the totality of the resources involved, and how are these resources allocated under various conditions of stress and soil type? Okay, again, we know that the leaf litter contributes to the carbon resource into the soil, but roots themselves, okay, in but contribute from 20 to 50% more carbon entering the rhizosphere, especially from the root exudates. Okay, what are root exudates? How they contribute to soil carbon? Okay, so again, the root exudates, okay, from the plants. The extent of which this exudate, sorry, the extent of which this exuded carbon is integral to root and rhizosphere function. This is a great interest for the soil ecologists. For instance, how this nitrogen fixing bacteria, okay, how this nitrogen fixing bacteria residing in the rhizosphere and the release of their nitrogen to the plant can stimulated by root exudates. So again, root exudate is very, very important. Okay, again, these are numerous direct and indirect positive and negative effects of having carbon flows in the rhizosphere, where that encompasses a wide array of symbiotic association and tropical and biochemical interactions. Okay, do read up about this information from your textbook. Of equal importance to roots themselves are their generally more efficient physiological extensions, the root fungus mutualistic association, which is the mycorrhiza. I'm not going into details about what is mycorrhiza, how it functions, because you need to tell me. Uh, okay, because I think it's supposed that you already learn about mycorrhiza along the way in our program. So I hope you guys can explain to me or enlighten me about what is mycorrhiza. Okay, so basically at a cost of at 5 to 30% of the total photosynthate translocated below ground, mycorrhiza assists in obtaining inorganic nutrient, water, and in some cases organic nutrients over a much wider range of the soil than roots alone. This symbiotic association has a significant effect on other biota, namely the microbes and also the soil fauna, which inhibit all soil systems. So, anyhow, how many of you regularly look at the roots?